Three, two, one.
Okay, so I didn't pick. I did not choose this path. It came to me on my second day. My manager was like, "Just kidding. You're going to be a researcher."
Hey, welcome, Tyler, to our show around Design Diaries, where we talk about design, the expression of design, the intent of design, and the value of design as designers and researchers. So why don't you start our conversation today by saying a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Tyler. I'm a senior UX researcher at SAP, and I actually work in SAP's core design organization. So I am very lucky that I get to work across a lot of different SAP product areas. I basically tell people that it's my job to make sure that SAP is building stuff that's actually going to help the people and not just stuff that we think is cool.
Tell me a little bit about where you're based and what does your daily activities look like as a researcher?
I'm based in Durham, North Carolina. You can't really see through the Post-it notes, but I'm right in downtown Durham, and I love it. Day-to-day activities as a researcher, it depends. It varies every single day. So some days it's gathering information from stakeholders to understand like what product teams need from research. Sometimes it's scheduling with customers. Some days it's having a full day worth of conversations with customers and end users to understand what their pain points are, what their thoughts are on a different product or experience. And then some days it's just like diving right into the data that I've collected to like deliver insights to product teams. So it's never boring.
Never boring indeed. And fun is a great element of what we need in a day-to-day life. So I'm seeing a lot of that come across in your work. And I was always intrigued about the choices you've made in life. Like, what made you become a user researcher or choose that path or profession?
I got my master's in marketing. So when I was applying to jobs, I was just like after college, I was just applying to like random marketing jobs. And I actually knew somebody that had a UX design role at my previous company. And he was like, just come work for me. Come be a UX designer. And I was like, I don't know what UX design is. I don't know what UX stands for, but sure. So I joined that team as a UX designer, and I swiftly realized that it wasn't for me. My brain doesn't work the way a UX designer's brain works. So eventually, after doing UX design for like 3 months, my manager at the time was like, just kidding, you're going to be a UX researcher. And I was like, I don't know what that means either, but let's find out. And I love it. I learned everything I know on the job from amazing, amazing mentors. And like I said, I didn't know this job existed, but by accident, it's like the job that was meant for me. And it makes me very happy that I ended up here by accident.
Well, they say sometimes that serendipity is a gift that you treasure all your life. This is probably a great example of that. As I reflect on my career, of course, I've made a lot of forays into different competencies of UX, as we call it. And till date, I would say pretty much everyone has an opinion on user experience, and they have a perception of what user experience is or isn't. So when my teenagers ask me what do I do for a living, or my mother-in-law asks me for a living, I have a hard time explaining because it's complicated and simple at the same time. How do you explain your job?
Basically, if someone asks me what my job is, I tell them it is my job to make sure that SAP is building things that are actually going to help people. Not just stuff that I or my product team think is cool, because what I think is cool might not help somebody. So it's my job to go uncover user pain points and needs and relay that information to my product managers, my engineers, and my designers.
Mine is a little more complicated to explain because it's sort of in the realms of design leadership and design as a craft. So I generally try to keep it simple by saying my job is to ensure that we solve the problems that users encounter in using a piece of software or a digital artifact or a solution. So we are really problem solvers. That's what I do. And oh, by the way, there is a term called design around expressing the solutions to those problems. So that's what I do. When I reflect on my craft and what we do here, often I think about what inspires me. What is it that keeps me going? I want to so ask you about that. Like, how do you get inspired?
The thing that fuels me is customers and end users. I've had projects in the past where I get emails from customers and end users who are like, you have significantly improved my life because of the research that you did. And now that I'm actually seeing it live in my shop, it's working and it's making my life easier and better. So I only really want to get positive emails from customers telling me, hey, the thing that you did research on, the thing that you pulled me into, that has impacted my life in a positive way. It's made my life easier.
You know, we are kind of suckers for affirmations, if I can call it that, especially in this world when you're trying to design solutions and products that meet human needs. And I love the part where you said at the end of the day, it's really about the customers and users. And if they are happy, I think our work and efforts are worth it.
Yeah.
And along that journey, we have a lot of trials and tribulations. As a researcher, if you can reflect on your days, can you share a little bit about, what are the few learnings you've had so far in your journey as a researcher?
The best way for research to be impactful and strategic is to make sure that it's happening before any type of project starts. Anytime a new thing, new product, new feature, new whatever is being developed, it should be like the direction of that, the roadmap of that should be being informed by research, because we can't build anything based off of assumptions. We can't say, I think people will like this. I think it should be built this way because I think it will help. It is so much cheaper to just do some research and know for a fact that what you are doing is going in the right direction and it's going to meet customer needs. So my biggest thing that I've learned so far is that research can't be done in a silo. You can't just be a researcher, sit in your ivory tower, go get insights and sprinkle them on people. Because if you're doing research that way, it's not going to impact anything. So the way I like to conduct research is I like to pull in my product managers, my engineering leads, and my designers, my UX designers, and have them design and develop the research plans with me. So by partnering outside of research with the rest of the product team and working in kind of a 3-in-a-box model, research can be so impactful. So that's the biggest thing I've learned. It's all about partnerships and moving forward that way.
I learned that engineers love data. And so when we can share some of the objective data that we get from user research, it goes a long way. And to your point, getting research early on in the product lifecycle is important. And as the understanding of research increases, so does the proclivity to include researchers early on. So at the end of the day, we are people working with other people to make meaningful outcomes. And when there is trust, and there's empowerment, and there's acceptance, invariably, we are excited as human beings. And then to the other part about the user researchers solving problems or generating innovation and solutions, nothing better than end users and customers appreciating the work that you do. So I think those are great examples of why research, A, makes a difference, and B, can actually be the secret sauce between assumption and usage, which is a big bridge to climb sometimes. And with SAP, we are very much in the belief that we want to push forth human-centered experiences in the age of AI, which are trustworthy and transparent and without bias. And it's an interesting space to be, but we are all evolving in this day and age, learning about AI technology, what it means to us as a design and research community, what it means for end users and their consumption. If you reflect a little bit about what's going on in the industry and your day-to-day life in usage of AI, and especially with your sort of skills and competency in mind, where do you see user research evolving in this day and age of AI? How can AI help the competency of research and the life cycle of research?
I see AI as my teammate moving forward to help me save a lot of time so I can move faster and help product teams move faster. Because a problem that a lot of product teams see kind of currently is sometimes product teams see research as a bottleneck or a roadblock because it takes a while to conduct a study. But if I can leverage AI to make my work go faster and kind of streamline the administrative part of my work. Like, we can do research so much faster, and research can be embedded more seamlessly into the product development lifecycle, so people don't have to super change their behaviors to collaborate with research.
Wonderful conversation, Tyler. Just to recap from what I learned a little bit in talking to you, your inspiration really lies in the sort of excitement that builds from customers and users, saying that they actually value the feedback process as well as the outcomes from the feedback. And you are big about ensuring that research is included ahead of the game, part of the product lifecycle and sort of design process, not just interjected towards the end. And then the third thing you mentioned is really about working on the core parts that matter to you as a researcher, and let AI help you with the administrative stuff a little bit. So wonderful learnings. And Tyler, great to have you as part of our Design Diaries session. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Hey, thank you for being our fearless leader. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Thank you for having me.